name is Saroj Goding, and I'm co-author of a book called Early Literacy Story Times at Your Library. Some of the trends that I've seen across the country related to early literacy and library services are based on what I've noticed three underpinnings, and that is focusing more on the parent and caregiver. Secondly, the importance of outreach and partnerships. And thirdly, seeing book knowledge as part of a whole language continuum. And some of the things that people are doing that reflect these underpinnings are, for example, holding workshops for parents and child care providers on early literacy, and even having these workshops approved for child care training credit so that our child care providers can pass on this information, not only to use it with the children in their care, but also to pass on information to the parents and the families that they serve. Secondly, in our story times, for example, we not only now focus on the children, but also have some asides or reading tips for the parents and caregivers who are present in the story time so that they can then be more knowledgeable about how these activities relate to later reading in a fun way. Another thing is that making sure that home pages of our library websites have information on early literacy. What we found is that this early literacy information is used not only by parents and caregivers, but also by other service providers. For example, social workers who work with parents and so forth, so that it really spreads the information not only to the parents and caregivers, but to the service providers who can then talk with the parents and child care providers about early literacy information and the importance of parents and caregivers in their children's early literacy development. Another area is making sure that our libraries are language rich, that the environment that our children come to and parents come to is a language rich environment. Sort of like we're practicing what we preach. So of course we have lots of books, but again, because book knowledge is now we realize that reading is part of the whole language continuum, that children actually sound out words when they're reading them. So that depends on oral language. So we really need to have that whole language development. So what does that mean in terms of the library environment? Making sure that it is an easily interactive one. So many library systems are making sure that that happens as well. And of course, making sure we have strong parent-teacher collections that are responsive to the needs and include early literacy information. And also that our book lists, for example, aren't just book lists like best books for preschoolers, but that how we use the book is as important as that we read with children. So making sure that there are little reading tips as part of our handouts is another way that I see the trends occurring in our libraries today.